Okay, in this user guide, I'm going to be showing you how to set up a Masternode with Escrow coin. First of all, go to their website, escrowcoin.com, click on Masternodes, and there's some information here. And we're going to use this guide. Now it's a Linux guide, but don't get worried. You don't need to have Linux on your computer. It's going to be Linux on your VPS. You're going to actually control it with your Windows computer. So we open up this guide. Now first of all, it says we need to have Ubuntu 16.04 VPS server. So to do that, I'm just going to quickly go through what I did for VPS server. Go to Google and just do a search for, and I used OHV VPS, but there's a lot of VPS servers that are just fine. I'm going to quickly go through this real quick. It's so easy. Click on the link, and there's a lot of different choices here that they have. They all take you to the same place, I think. Click on find out more. The thing I really like about these VPS servers is they come with, even their smallest one comes with 2 gigabytes of RAM. What this means is when you're setting up your account, your wallet on there, you're not going to need to have any virtual memory. It'll have enough memory to run and install and work. The thing I don't like is that they only have 10 gigabytes of storage. Now this is plenty for your account. The only thing I worry about is after some time you might start using that up with the blockchain or whatnot. So this one might be a little bit better choice with 20 gigabytes. It's got an overkill of RAM and everything else, but still pretty cheap. But we're going to go through this right now. This will open up your order window. Basically that'll be filled in with what you chose there. Here you can really pick any location you want. I use this one because it's close to me. I'm in the United States. I also have used the London one, but you could pick any one of these. It doesn't really matter. Here's what you need to do though is in your operating system is pick Ubuntu and the 16.04 server. Now if you did want to get more hard drive space, you could add it right there. I didn't. Just hit continue, and you can either do it 1 month at a time or do a whole year. If you choose the year, you will actually get a discount. Right now I don't know if they'll keep this forever, but anyway, $40 a year, so it's not too bad. And I'm not going to go through the rest of this because I've already done it. But you just go purchase your VPS, and then you get your server. They'll email you the logins. You can log into there. I'm already logged into mine right here. Now one thing is I am logged in as root, and so the guide, if you look down here on the guide, when we go through the commands, they do use sudo. Okay, so for me, I figure that I don't like to do everything as root. It's a little bit safer if you create another account and then use sudo to run that. So real quick, I'm going to show you how to do that. And if any point along here you miss these commands, you can just easily go Google how to create a sudo user, and it'll give you this. But anyway, so we're going to add user, and we're going to call it Escrow. And this could be anything you want, but we're just going to add this user. Okay. It'll ask you for a password. I usually use I just go to a website and find a random password generator and use that. Make sure you save these passwords so you know what they are. Put that in. You have to put it in there twice. Okay, and then it asks for all this information. You don't really have to fill this in. Just hit enter. Is this information correct? Yes. And you now have a new user created. But we need to give that user sudo permissions now so it can run those commands. So you type user mod space dash lowercase a uppercase g space sudo and username Escrow. Okay, that's done. Now you could totally log out of this account, log back in as that user, or you can do su Escrow, and now we are logged in as Escrow. Now we still, if you notice right here, you can see that we are in the root directory, so we're still in the root account as far as the path we're at. So you do print working directory pwd, you can see your root. So we don't want to be working there. If you would have logged out, logged back in as that user, it would have put you into that user's directory. To get there, just go cd / enter. Now, as you can see, we're in the escrow accounts folder. So that's where we want to be. So we've got this all set up. Next, we want to set up, we'll just follow this guide right down along here. We want to set, now we're going to go back to Windows. So I'm going to be back in just a second. Okay, so now we're in Windows here to set up this first step. So you can just click on this link to download this wallet. Okay, there you go, download. It'll take just a minute to download this file. Okay, then open, and then I just hit extract all, and you can put this wherever you want. I just usually leave it in the downloads. Hit extract, and then it's going to open up, because I left that checked, it's going to open up this folder. And this is the file you need, and I just usually right click on that and then send it to desktop, create shortcut. Okay, I've created a shortcut, then I can close all of these things. Let's see, we'll go back to our Masternode guide so we can see that. I'll minimize this for a second. And there is our shortcut we created to our desktop. Click on that. Allow access. And this will be out of sync. So it's 2 weeks behind. Depending on when you do this, you might be farther behind. But this is going to take just a little while. It's got to connect to, create these connections and download the blockchain and get caught up. In the meantime, you can send yourself, let's find the address. So, so we can go to receive, and this address right here. Right click on that, copy address, and you can send your 1,500 coins to that address. So if you've got it in Crypto Bridge or whatever, just send it to that address that you just copied, and then you just got to wait for this to synchronize. If you've sent that, as soon as it comes up, it will it'll have that money in there. and then you're going to want to create a new address as well. You can name it anything you want. I call it MN1 for Masternode 1. Click OK, and here is your address. Once this is synchronized, once you have your money in there, you'll just click send. Well, actually, before we do that, you will want to copy this address because this is where you're going to send it to. Okay, so let's assume we've got the money in there. You'll go copy address, send. You will put that address in there, and it'll come up MN1, which is kind of nice. You know you've got the right address in there. And just type 1500. Now it's got to be exactly 1500. So you'll want to send to your wallet from CryptoBridge or wherever you're sending it from. Send to where you have at least 1501 in there, because there's going to be a transaction fee. But then when you send it to this address, you got to do exactly 1500 coins, and then hit send. Now it's not gonna work here because it exceeds my balance. It hasn't synchronized, and I haven't sent the 1500 coins in. But when you do, it'll be able to send it there, and then you're going to have to wait for confirmations till that transfer is complete, and we'll come back when that is done. Okay, now that we're all synced up, and hopefully you have your 1500 coins transferred over. Now mine, I don't have the 1500 coins in there right now because I already have my Masternode set up. So there's one thing in here that's not going to show up, but if you have yours, it'll show up and work good. So you go to the debug console. Maybe I clicked that too quick. So go to help, debug window console. Okay, and so here, let's just take a look at this. So here, you can just copy and paste this Masternode gen key. Put that in there. Okay, and it's going to generate a key for you. This key you want to save. In fact, open up a notepad. Notepad here. And you are going to want to copy that and paste it into here. Okay, so you'll have that, and then you're going to want to, let's go back over here. Okay, so you could have done that before you sent the 1500 coins. Alright, so we already did that. This is what is not going to work here, because this isn't going to work until you have the 1500 coins in there. Let's see. Okay, so see, its output is that, because it's not there. But once you get the 1500 coins and get it in there, it's going to give you a big old long number with here, I'll just give you an example of what this might look like. Something like that. Okay, and so you will copy and paste that in there. You will need this for your setup. Alright, so we're going to move on from there. If you don't, if this comes up and shows like this, it basically means you either haven't sent your 1500 coins to that address, or it hasn't confirmed yet, so you need to wait a little bit longer. Once you do, you'll see something like that. Copy and paste it into this notepad. Okay, then you can close this console. We're done with that. And now we're going to need to configure this file. Now you can go to this path, or you can click on this start menu and type %, app data %, and then that will give you a folder here that you open and it'll take you directly there. Okay, so you'll go to Escrow, and then we're talking about this file right here. Open that up. Okay, and it's blank. So what we want to do is we want to copy and paste exactly what they've got in here. And put it in this escrow.conf. Okay, now this you can basically leave this or whatever you want. It's a user name and password that you're going to put the exact same thing in the VPS server, but you can put whatever you want there. You do want to put a long string of passwords here, so get a long random password and put it in there, and then that's it. Save this file. Wait, let's see, it didn't have the, okay, yeah, save this file, and we're done with that. Close that out and come back to here, and we're going to want to create a file for this one. We're going to eventually want it to be masternode.conf. So what you got to do is create a new text document. Okay, and you know what, oops, I didn't do that right. I think, well, that would have worked anyway, but delete that. Okay, so new text document. Okay, and you can just leave it that, just leave it new text document, and then do edit, and then go file, save as. The name we want it to be Masternode .conf, and then we don't want it to be text, we want it to be all files, and then hit save, and now we've got the file there. We want to put this in here. Okay, so we called ours mn1, and you can just call that anything you want. This needs to be the IP address of your VPS server. So when you got your email, once you set up the VPS server, they would give you an IP address. You need to put that in there. Remember this document we created here? This is where you need this from. This is the private key that we generated. So you'll put the private key, okay, and then the proof of transaction is this one, without the quotes, just that big old long number that's in there. And then the index number is this last number. It's usually either a 1 or a 0. So in this case, it's a 1. Okay, and okay, that's done. Hit File, Save. Okay, that's saved, and we can now close. Well, we can close this one out. We'll leave this one here because we will need it for our VPS. Okay, and then the next step is we'll go over to our VPS, and okay, here's our VPS, what we were at before. We'll basically just copy and paste this in there. You'll have to put that password in that you did. Hit why. Okay, some of these things will take a little while. All right, then this is actually the gonna get the wallet. And it's copying that wallet over. Basically, we're going to copy every one of these lines. I'm not going to copy this one. You'll want to do that. Mine, I've already updated it. It'll take us, well, we might as well do it. It won't hurt. Just might take a minute here. It didn't take too long because I'd already updated it. Then you want to get all this. Whoops. You don't want that, just this that's in red. And paste that in. And this is going to take a minute to download all these files. So I will pause it here and I will be back in just a minute when this is done. Okay, so that is done. Now we do the next step, cd src. See. Oh, we needed to cd to that directory right there, and then cd src, and then just copy and paste this in there. And this one is going to take a really long time, so we will definitely pause it again for this while that compiles. Okay, now that that is done compiling, the next step is to start the wallet. With this command. Okay, and that's created the files. We can stop that and cd back to home directory, and if you ls-a, it'll show all the files, and you'll see that there is now a hidden folder, .escrow. Okay, and we can see that we now have our comp file right there. I use nano to edit that, and this is where we want to put in this information. And these will be the same username and password that you put in your comp file here. So you'll want to use those exact ones. In here. So for this one, so whatever you choose for your password there, no need to worry about that. This will be your VPS IP address. So remember, you got emailed that. Masternode 1, the private key. Will be this private key. So copy that. Paste it in there. Now, let's see. The only difference is, and this is where there's actually an error in this. These have to be on separate lines. So instead of leaving it like that, we actually need to do this. And this. Okay, so those have to be on separate lines. Okay, and I got an error because I didn't put that Masternode address in there. And then Control X, that's how you exit. Control X, and save changes, hit Y. And then hit enter, and it's now saved that file. And then we just need to alright, so let's you can do that, or use that and go back to the home directory, and then CD back to or yeah, I guess you just use that works. Alright, and then run this command again. And it's starting. Okay, so that's all going now. We're done with the VPS side of things. Now you can, you will have to wait till it gets synchronized, so that's why they give you this. So now you'll just run this command here to see the progress, essentially. So as you can see, it's got, and that's what you're looking at, the blocks here, 6,865. If we go to, let's see, oops. Well, actually, we could just go here. And you can see right there that it's 39,435 blocks, and we know this is up to date because it's synchronized. It doesn't show a bar here saying it's still going, so we got to wait till it gets up to 39,435. Go back here, see, so we got a ways to go. If you do that command again, as you can see, it's progressing, but we got to wait till that gets all caught up before it's really ready to go. And then you just have to go to Masternodes, click update, and it'll show your Masternode here, and then click start, and that will start the Masternode, and it'll be running at that point. Now we haven't in this video we haven't encrypted the wallet yet. You'll want to do that. If you did it before this stage, you'll want to make sure and unlock the wallet, otherwise you'll get an error. But you will want to encrypt that wallet, and you can do it after you've started this up. Just make sure you save that password, because if you lose that, you will lose your wallet. And then once that is going, I'm going to show you what it will look like here. Okay. Okay, I'll be back in just a minute here. Okay, so once your wallets or your Masternode has been started on your Windows wallet, you can go back to your VPS server and make sure you're in the src directory, and just run this command, and it will show that the Masternode has been started remotely. And that's how it's supposed to look. You can also look at status. It should be a status 9. Don't worry about this. I'm not sure why it always shows that. It for some reason it has that, but as long as you got status 9, it should be working. You can also use Masternodes online to monitor your Masternode. But basically that's it. Once you've got that, you just got to wait, and you should start receiving rewards within, well, currently it's about 4 hours, but that will go up as there's more Masternodes. But that's it for setting up your Masternode.